Life doesn't always move the way we expect. There are days when the weight feels too heavy, when the road feels too long, and when the battles seem far greater than our strength. But what if I told you that within you, right now, there is a strength more powerful than any difficulty you're facing, a strength that doesn't crumble under pressure, a strength that doesn't bow to fear, a strength that rises even when everything around you tries to push you down. Today we are stepping into a message that will not just inspire you, it will awaken something deep inside you. A reminder that you are not walking through life alone, a reminder that there is a purpose behind your journey, and a reminder that every struggle you have faced is shaping you into someone stronger than you have ever been. In this video, we will uncover the truth about unbreakable strength. How to stay strong no matter what life throws at you. These words are not just motivation, they are spiritual armor. They are fuel for your spirit, clarity for your mind, and power for your heart. If you've been tired, lost, or looking for direction, stay with me. Don't click away. Because the strength you've been searching for, the hope you've been praying for, and the breakthrough you've been waiting for, they're all here. Take a breath, open your heart, and let this message remind you of the warrior inside you. Building inner resilience begins with understanding that strength is not something you wait to feel. It is something you train, develop, and reinforce through the daily choices you make. Inner resilience is the quiet power inside you that doesn't shout but refuses to collapse. It is formed not in moments of comfort, but in the difficult seasons where your spirit is tested and your endurance is stretched. When life brings pressure, uncertainty, or disappointment, that inner core of strength becomes the foundation that holds you upright when everything else tries to push you down. It is not about pretending you are unhurt, but about refusing to be defeated by what hurt you. Resilience starts with the way you think. Your thoughts shape your emotions, your decisions, and ultimately your actions. When your mind is filled with doubt, fear, or discouragement, everything in life feels heavier. But when you discipline your thinking to focus on solutions rather than problems, possibilities instead of limitations, and hope instead of despair, you begin to strengthen that inner core. Building resilience means training your mind to see beyond the immediate struggle and into the potential strength and wisdom you can gain from it. It is choosing to focus on what you can control and releasing what you cannot. Another essential part of inner resilience is emotional stability. This does not mean ignoring your emotions or pretending you don't feel pain. It means allowing yourself to feel, but not letting those feelings destroy your direction. When difficulties strike, emotions often react before reason does. You may feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or disappointed. Resilience helps you acknowledge those emotions without letting them decide your future. You learn to take a breath, step back, and respond with clarity instead of reacting with panic. Over time, this brings calmness in chaos and strength in uncertainty. Inner resilience also grows through consistency. Every small, disciplined action you take becomes a brick in the foundation of your inner strength. Waking up when you don't feel like it, choosing responsibility over excuses, practicing gratitude even when life feels unfair, and showing up for your goals even when your motivation is low. Each of these habits strengthens your resilience. Consistency builds confidence, and confidence builds endurance. When you know you can rely on yourself, you become far more capable of handling life storms. Another important part is learning from adversity instead of running from it. Every challenge holds a lesson, and every setback offers wisdom. When you face hardship and ask yourself, what can this teach me? You transform pain into growth. You begin to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to expand your strength, deepen your understanding, and sharpen your character. Resilience increases Each time you rise after falling, each time you try again after failing, and each time you decide that the battle will not end you. Resilience is also strengthened through belief. Belief in your purpose, belief in your value, and belief in your future. When you know that your life has meaning, you gain the courage to push through the battles that try to break you. When you believe you are capable of rising again, you rise. When you believe there is something ahead worth fighting for, you fight. Belief fuels perseverance, and perseverance fuels resilience. Lastly, resilience grows when you surround yourself with the right people. Supportive voices, encouraging influences, and uplifting relationships help you stay strong when your own strength feels small. No one builds resilience alone. The people who speak life into you, challenge you to grow, and stand with you in difficult times help reinforce your inner strength. Building inner resilience is a lifelong process, but every moment of effort brings you closer to becoming unbreakable. It is the kind of strength that does not depend on circumstances, but grows through them. When you cultivate this inner power, you stand firm through every battle, rise after every fall, and continue forward with courage that nothing can steal. Staying grounded in purpose begins with recognizing that your life is guided not by random events, but by a deeper meaning that anchors you. When storms come and challenges rise, purpose becomes the fixed point that keeps you from drifting into fear, confusion, or exhaustion. It is the internal compass that points you toward the reason you keep going, even when the path feels heavy. Purpose clarifies your direction, strengthens your resolve, and reminds you why the fight is worth it. Without purpose, obstacles feel overwhelming. With purpose, every obstacle becomes part of your mission. Purpose is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it is a quiet conviction that whispers, keep going. When you know why you're pursuing a goal, sacrificing comfort or facing difficulty stops feeling pointless. Instead, each struggle becomes a meaningful step towards something bigger than the pain. That understanding creates a foundation of strength that cannot be easily shaken, because you are not just surviving difficulties, you are advancing towards something valuable, something you believe in, something that fuels your spirit. Remaining grounded in purpose requires clarity. You must know what truly matters to you, what you stand for, and what you want your life to contribute to the world. This clarity helps you filter out distractions, temptations, and unnecessary battles. When you are clear on your purpose, not every fight deserves your energy, and not every opinion deserves your attention. You learn to guard your time, your focus, and your emotional strength, because you understand they must be invested where your purpose lives. Clarity protects you from losing yourself in the noise of life. Purpose also gives you endurance. When challenges feel heavy, purpose reminds you that quitting would cost more than continuing. It gives you the strength to persist when motivation fades. Motivation comes and goes, but purpose stays steady. When you wake up tired or discouraged, your purpose pushes you forward. It whispers to your heart that your effort is not wasted, your struggle is not empty, and your perseverance is not in vain. This kind of strength does not depend on how you feel in the moment. It is built on the promise of what you are moving toward. Being grounded in purpose shapes your perspective. Instead of seeing obstacles as final walls, you begin to see them as detours or stepping stones. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin to ask, how can this refine me for what I am meant to do? That shift in thinking transforms battles into training and hardships into preparation. Purpose teaches you to interpret your struggles not as evidence that you are on the wrong path, but as confirmation that you are growing into someone capable of fulfilling your calling. Purpose also keeps you anchored during moments of doubt. Every journey comes with uncertainty. Moments where you question your abilities or feel overwhelmed by the size of your goals. In those moments, remembering your purpose brings you back to center. It reminds you of the people you want to serve, the dreams you want to build, the impact you want to make. It reminds you of your story, your resilience, and your potential. Doubt may shake your emotions, but purpose stabilizes your spirit. Furthermore, purpose gives meaning to sacrifice. When you dedicate yourself to something meaningful, you understand that discipline, patience, and hard work are necessary parts of the process. You accept temporary discomfort because you know the outcome is worth the effort. You are willing to invest time, energy, and dedication because your purpose gives value to every step you take. Sacrifice loses its heaviness when it is tied to something you deeply care about. Lastly, staying grounded in purpose requires reminding yourself of it continually. Life will try to distract you, discourage you, or pull you in directions that weaken your focus, but when you consistently reconnect with your purpose through reflection, prayer, journaling, or thoughtful silence, you reinforce your strength. You align your actions with your mission. You walk with intention instead of wandering in uncertainty. When you stay grounded in purpose, you become unshakable. You face battles with determination, endure struggles with resilience, and move forward with confidence. Purpose gives your life direction, meaning, and unstoppable strength. It becomes the force that empowers you to continue fighting, no matter how difficult the path may be. Turning struggles into growth begins with accepting that challenges are not meant to break you, but to shape you. Every hardship carries a lesson, every setback holds wisdom, and every painful moment is an invitation to rise stronger than before. Growth does not happen in comfort, it happens in the tension between where you are and where you are meant to be. When life becomes difficult, you have a choice. Allow the struggle to weaken you or transform it into a stepping stone toward greater strength, clarity, and character. The moment you choose to learn from what hurts you, the struggle begins to serve you. Growth requires perspective. Instead of seeing challenges as enemies, view them as teachers. Each difficult experience reveals something you didn't know about yourself. Your endurance, your courage, your creativity, your patience, or your ability to rise again. Sometimes struggle exposes your weaknesses, not to shame you, but to show you where you need to build stronger foundations. Other times, struggle reveals hidden strengths you never realized you had. When you face difficulty with open eyes and an open mind, you begin to extract meaning from moments that once felt meaningless. A powerful part of turning struggles into growth is accepting discomfort as part of the process. Growth demands stretching, and stretching is uncomfortable. The person who refuses discomfort remains the same, but the one who embraces discomfort becomes someone new. When you push through fear, you gain confidence. When you endure discipline, you gain control. When you confront challenges instead of avoiding them, you gain wisdom. Each wave of difficulty strengthens your spirit the way resistance strengthens a muscle. Without pressure, there is no growth. Without struggle, strength remains dormant. Growth also happens when you decide not to let failure define you. Everyone fails, but not everyone grows. Failure is not the end, it is feedback. It tells you what didn't work so you can discover what will. The moment you see failure as a teacher instead of a verdict, you unlock a powerful tool for transformation. Failure refines your approach, sharpens your insight, and humbles your heart. It shows you that falling is not a sign of weakness, but an opportunity to rise with more intention and skill. Another important part of growth is patience. Struggle often feels long and exhausting, and the transformation it creates is rarely immediate. Growth is slow, steady, and sometimes invisible until time reveals the progress you've made. Patience allows you to keep going when results aren't visible yet. Patience gives you the endurance to continue working, healing, learning, and rebuilding, even when it feels like nothing is changing. In the quiet seasons of waiting, strength takes root beneath the surface. Turning struggles into growth also requires responsibility. You cannot grow if you constantly blame circumstances, people, or fate for your challenges. Growth begins the moment you take ownership of your responses, your decisions, and your healing. You may not control what happened to you, but you have full control over what you choose to do next. Responsibility shifts your mindset from powerless to powerful. It transforms you from a victim of circumstances into the architect of your future. Transformation deepens when you choose gratitude in the midst of difficulty. Gratitude does not ignore pain. It simply chooses to recognize the good that still exists within it. When you thank life for the lessons hidden in your struggles, you open your heart to growth. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lost to what you can gain, from what is broken to what can be rebuilt. This mindset turns ashes into wisdom and obstacles into opportunities. Finally, growth becomes lasting when you use your struggles to lift others. The strength you gain, the wisdom you learn, and the resilience you develop are not only for you, they are for everyone whose life you touch. When you share your journey, encourage someone in their battle, or offer guidance that you once needed, your struggle becomes a source of light for others. Helping others heal becomes the evidence that you have grown. When you turn struggles into growth, you no longer fear challenges. You understand that every difficulty carries a gift. Every hardship teaches endurance, and every painful moment is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more unbreakable than before. Keeping faith and hope alive is one of the greatest strengths you can carry into any battle, because these two forces give your heart the power to rise, even when everything around you feels heavy. Faith is the quiet assurance that something greater is working in your life, even when you cannot see it. Hope is the steady belief that better days are ahead, even if the present feels dark. Together, they create a strength that cannot be shaken by circumstances, because they anchor your spirit to something deeper than what you feel at the moment. When you hold on to faith and hope, you refuse to let fear write your story. Faith begins where certainty ends. It takes courage to believe when the path is unclear or when life has disappointed you, but that belief becomes the fuel that keeps you moving forward. Faith tells you that the struggle you face is not the end, but the beginning of something meaningful. It reminds you that every trial carries a purpose, every delay carries a reason, and every challenge carries a blessing you may not yet understand. Faith shifts your focus from the problem to the possibility. It encourages you to trust that even the unseen parts of your journey are working in your favor. Hope strengthens your heart by giving you something to look forward to. Without hope, challenges feel heavier and setbacks feel permanent. But hope whispers that nothing stays the same forever, that pain will pass, and that breakthroughs come to those who refuse to stop believing. Hope turns despair into determination and confusion into clarity. It acts like light in a dark tunnel, guiding you step by step until you reach a place of peace again. Hope is not wishful thinking. It is the belief that the future can be better because you are growing stronger. Keeping faith and hope alive requires intentional focus. Life is filled with distractions, negativity, and challenges that try to weaken your belief. If you feed your mind only with fear, doubt, or discouragement, your hope will shrink. But when you choose to fill your thoughts with truth, strength, and possibility, you keep your spirit lifted. Reading something encouraging, listening to something uplifting, or surrounding yourself with positive voices strengthens the foundation of your faith and keeps your hope alive. What you feed your mind eventually shapes your inner strength. Another part of keeping faith and hope alive is remembering past victories. When you recall times you overcame challenges you once thought were impossible, you remind yourself that you are stronger than you feel. Your past battles become evidence that you can survive this one too. Looking back on moments where life turned around, where growth came from pain, or where unexpected blessings appeared, restores confidence in your future. Memory becomes fuel for hope, and gratitude becomes fuel for faith. Faith and hope also grow when you release what you cannot control. Many battles become heavier simply because you tried to carry things that were never yours to carry. You cannot control people's actions, every outcome, or every situation, but you can control your trust, your mindset, and your response. Letting go of unnecessary burdens creates space for peace. When you release fear, faith takes root. When you release worry, hope rises. Learning to surrender the unknown strengthens your inner calm and helps you stay grounded even in uncertainty. Keeping faith and hope alive also means speaking life over yourself. Words carry power. When you speak strength instead of weakness, courage instead of fear, and confidence instead of doubt, your spirit responds. Even in difficult moments, declaring that you will rise, that you will endure, and that you will overcome reinforces your inner strength. Speak what you want to see, not what you fear might happen. Faith is strengthened by words aligned with belief. And hope grows through words aligned with expectation. Finally, faith and hope become unbreakable when you choose to persevere. Every time you take one more step, choose one more day, breathe through one more hardship, and refuse to give up, your faith grows deeper and your hope rises higher. Perseverance turns belief into reality and hope into strength. You become someone who is not moved by storms, but strengthened by them. Faith becomes your anchor. Hope becomes your vision, and perseverance becomes your power. When you keep faith and hope alive, no battle becomes too big and no night becomes too dark. You rise with strength that does not depend on circumstances and walk with courage that cannot be taken away. Faith lifts your heart, hope lights your path, and together they guide you through every challenge with unshakable power. As we come to the end of this message, remember this: strength is not found in avoiding battles, but in rising through them. You are stronger than your fears, bigger than your failures, and greater than every obstacle standing in your way. Your resilience is being built every day. Your purpose is guiding your steps. Your struggles are shaping your character, and your faith is lighting your path. Everything you have walked through has prepared you for everything you are about to step into. Nothing is wasted, and nothing can stop the person who refuses to give up. So as you move forward, carry this truth with you. Your strength is unbreakable when it comes from within. Hold on to your purpose, embrace growth in every challenge, and keep faith and hope alive in every season. You were never meant to crumble. You were created to rise, to endure, and to shine in the face of adversity. No matter what tomorrow brings, you are ready. You are capable. You are unstoppable. Thank you for spending this time with me, for opening your heart, and for allowing these words to speak life into your spirit. If this message encouraged you, inspired you, or reminded you of your inner power, I'm truly grateful. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and stay connected. Your journey is far from over. Your greatest victories are still ahead. Thank you, and may strength and peace follow you always.